You yelled at someone today. Over something small. You knew it was small. You felt yourself yelling and couldn't stop. You wanted to explain, it's not about this, it's not about you. But the words wouldn't come out that way. And now you're replaying it, feeling guilty, knowing you overreacted. Wondering why you can't just stay calm. Here's what happened. You didn't get angry because of what they did. You got angry because your brain was already full. Let me explain the mechanism. Your brain has two systems competing for control right now. One is your prefrontal cortex, your thinking brain, the rational one. It lives behind your forehead. It plans. It negotiates. It says things like, "This doesn't really matter," and "I should take a breath." The other is your amygdala, your threat detection system. It's deep in your brain, evolved over millions of years. Its job is simple: keep you alive. And it's very, very good at its job. Too good sometimes. Under normal conditions, these two systems work together. Your amygdala spots a potential threat. Someone raises their voice. You get bad news. You see a critical email. And signals your prefrontal cortex. Attention. Something might be wrong. Your prefrontal cortex evaluates it. Actually, this is fine. Relax. The threat response is called off. You stay calm. You respond rationally. But here's the thing. Your amygdala doesn't work with a single threat. It works with a load. Imagine your threat capacity is a cup. Every stressor fills the cup a little bit. Work stress adds water. Relationship anxiety adds water. Sleep deprivation adds water. A difficult conversation adds water. Financial worry adds water. That sense that you're falling behind, or failing, or not good enough. More water. For most of your day, your cup is filling, slowly filling. The water level rises. Your prefrontal cortex is aware of this. It's compensating. It's working hard to keep you calm, to keep you rational, to keep you from snapping. Your prefrontal cortex is literally exhausted from managing your threat load. And then someone does something small. They leave a dish in the sink. They send a message in the wrong tone. They're 5 minutes late. They ask a simple question at the wrong moment. That small thing is one more drop of water. And the cup overflows. Your amygdala doesn't evaluate that one drop. It doesn't say, "Well, that's small." It says, "Threat detected. Threat load exceeded. Activate survival mode." And suddenly, you're not responding to the small thing. You're responding to the entire cup. All the stress, the anxiety, the exhaustion, the frustration. It all comes pouring out at once. This is called threat cascade. And neuroscientist Daniel Siegel has a term for it. Flipping your lid. When your threat system is activated beyond capacity, the connections between your amygdala and your prefrontal cortex literally weaken. Your rational brain goes offline. Your survival brain takes over. You're no longer thinking, you're reacting. And in that moment, you might yell. You might say things you don't mean. You might hurt someone you care about. And the worst part? You can see yourself doing it. You can hear yourself, but you can't stop it. Because the system running your behavior isn't the one that cares about this person. It's the one that's trying to survive. Here's what makes this even more complicated. Your amygdala doesn't distinguish between types of threats. A memory of failure triggers the same response as a physical threat. A critical comment triggers the same response as a predator. A missed deadline triggers the same response as actual danger. Psychologist Bruce Perry has documented this extensively. He calls it the threat continuum. Your brain is constantly assessing, am I safe? The more you've been stressed, the more threats you've faced, the more your baseline threat level rises, and the lower the threshold for that small thing to tip you over. This is why people with trauma histories, anxiety disorders, or chronic stress get angry more easily. It's not a character flaw. It's a nervous system that's been conditioned to see more things as threats. And here's the thing that breaks most people's hearts. It's often the people closest to you who absorb this overflow. Because you're safe with them, your guard is lowest with them. So when your cup finally overflows, it's in their direction. You don't yell at your boss over a small thing. Your threat detection system is actively monitoring that situation. You're regulated. Your prefrontal cortex is in charge, but you yell at your partner, or your kid, or your friend, because with them, you've let your guard down, and that's when the overflow happens. So what do you do about it? First, understand that you're not a bad person. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. It's trying to protect you. It's responding to a full cup, not a small drop. Second, manage your cup. This is the hardest part and the most important part. Your threat load is the sum of all your stressors. Some of them you can't control. Work stress, health issues, family problems, but many of them you can. Sleep is the biggest one. Sleep is when your amygdala resets. When you haven't slept well, your threat detection system is running on overdrive. The cup is fuller before the day even starts. Movement is the second one. Physical activity processes stress hormones. A walk, a workout, a dance. These aren't luxuries. They're nervous system maintenance. Connection is the third. Feeling safe with other people literally lowers your threat load. Time with people who make you feel secure and understood. This is medicine for your nervous system. Everything else flows from these three. Enough sleep, movement, connection. These create the space for your prefrontal cortex to actually be in charge. Third, develop what therapists call window of tolerance. This is the zone where you can think clearly, respond rationally, stay regulated. When you're outside this window, too activated, too shut down, you can't access your rational brain. The goal isn't to never get activated. Activation is normal. The goal is to catch yourself before you flip your lid. To notice, my cup is full, my threat load is high, I need to pause. And when you notice it, you can literally pause. You can say, I'm at capacity, I need a moment. You can take a breath. You can step away. You can ask for help. This is the difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is what your amygdala does when it's overwhelmed. Responding is what your prefrontal cortex does when it has space to think. The person you snapped at, they don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be aware. Awareness is the gateway to change. You're not broken. Your cup is just full. And that's actually useful information. It's telling you something needs to change. Maybe you need more sleep. Maybe you need to address something that's causing chronic stress. Maybe you need to move your body more. Maybe you need to reach out for support. Your anger isn't the problem. Your anger is the messenger. It's saying, your threat load is too high. Your nervous system needs help. So the next time you snap at someone over something small, pause. Not to shame yourself, but to listen, to ask, what's actually full in my cup? What's the real load here? And then, take one action to empty a little bit of that cup. Walk, sleep, connect, move, breathe, reach out. Your nervous system will thank you, and so will the people you love.